Well, are we back? We're back, baby. We're back. This is episode 13, and we're back in person together after Jeremy's hiatus in
Cuba.
Yes, went to pick up some cigars. Got lost for 6 weeks, so that's exciting.
Floating on a raft.
Yeah.
It was fun.
So Jeremy's wife had training to become ISR certified.
Wow. You have it.
Which is Infant Swimming Rescue.
Resource.
Okay.
Rescue makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
So viewers, if you haven't seen this stuff, look this stuff up because it's pretty wild to see. Like, you like push a baby under the water and like the baby floats up and it's just like,
It's unreal. Dude, it's unreal.
yeah.
I think that we could create a good video. Viewers, if you'd be interested, maybe you could comment. But we could do like a spoof.
Me as a baby.
You as a baby. I'll be your parent. And I'll be like, all right, little Justy, get in there and just kind of like push you into the water.
I'm in an adult diaper. Only. That's all I'm in. Jrich and Jerry, we're here with you. Trail Whispers podcast on a Thursday afternoon. Fun stories, chiropractic care. Life's an open book, so sit back in your chair. We're walking down the trail of life, so come along. With Trail Whispers podcast, you can't go wrong. I go into the water.
Dude, we could line it up. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, that would be funny. That would be really funny. Yeah, we used to make all those spoof videos back in the day. Yeah. I was actually talking to, I guess I don't know where we want to start at, but this just came up. So I was talking to my friend Aaron, who's listening. That's the WABC pastor. He changed his name to be his real name. Yes. So
is he a legit character?
Yeah, he's a good dude.
He's legit.
Good dude. Dude, yeah. His son has me rolling laughing all the time. He came into Sunday school and I just looked at him and I was like, you are good content. Like, you as an individual, you are good content. So, he says a lot of funny stuff that he doesn't mean to be funny. And it makes me laugh. So, but anyways, I was talking to him and he was like asking me about you. And he's like, where'd you meet him? How long have you known each other and stuff? And I was like, yeah, and because we've known each other for almost 18 years now.
Almost 18 years.
Just crazy.
That's nuts.
So, but I was telling him, I was like, yeah, like we just would always do stupid stuff or crazy stuff. And I told him we found at a Goodwill or something, we found these t-shirts that said like, what did they, I don't remember what they said. They were yellow t-shirts. We wore them to Cedar Point.
Got that picture.
Yes, I know you do. I feel like it said like Akron School for something. I feel like it was like School for the Blind or like...
That sounds right.
Something crazy, like something so politically incorrect. But we found like 4 of the same shirts. We cut the sleeves off. We put on short shorts. We went to Cedar Point and wore fanny packs. And then it was our mission to take pictures with as many people with fanny packs as possible.
Yeah.
So... that was wild.
That was wild. I
was just telling him, like, I don't know. We've always done, like, crazy. Like, when we were young, it was, like, stupid stuff. We don't do that stuff now, but.
You know what was fun? A fun memory is back when, remember Mom's Pool? We did a burnout and then jumped into Mom's Pool.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
You want to explain to the viewers what a burnout is?
Yeah, so you wait till it's, like, July, August.
So, like, 80 degrees, 90 degrees.
80, 90 is perfect. And then you're going to get in the car, and the windows will stay up, and you'll turn the heat on full blast, and you need to have clothes on.
Yes.
And you have to go, because it could get uncomfortable, and you're just, like, sweating a little bit. You got to extend it out.
Where like 30 minutes at least.
At least 30 minutes. So I extended one time from Ohio to North Carolina.
I was not present during this.
And I know I suffered heat stroke. I remember passing out in church and just kind of like coming to at a certain point Yeah, it was rough.
And you just did it for the challenge?
Just for the challenge.
Yeah. I mean, it feels good to sweat. Like, that's what a sauna is, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, it's in the car. I don't know. But yeah, we did that in the car. I forget where we were going. We were like driving around, and then, yeah, we jumped in your mom's pool in our church clothes because we were so hot. So,
whenever,
simple times.
If you or I die first, we need to just make a pact that picture you created at my mom's house needs to go like somewhere on display.
Which picture? The toast, the jam picture?
Yeah, the toast picture.
Yeah. I'll put it on here for the viewers, so you'll be able to see it. I'll put it right now. For you. So let me know what you think about this. Hopefully you like it.
If you'd like one for Christmas.
I don't think they make those anymore. I did think about doing that this past year. So
cool gift.
Yeah.
Homemade gifts are fun.
Yeah.
Especially when you were in my mom's readers and eating her jelly toast.
That might have been her shirt or robe or something too.
Probably
wasn't mine. It was her house. So it was a weird time. Weird time in our lives. But anyways, so you're back in Ohio. How's Ohio. Life?
Well, let me just tell you how Ohio welcomed us.
Sure.
You like that? So we left, 80s, sunny. We roll back into Ohio, and we got back around dinner time, and we're unpacking the car. My wife's inside. I carry it in. She takes it and puts it away. Take a guess what the weather did.
Probably snowed.
Maybe worse than that. Snow at least would be pretty and just kind of like it's soft and gentle, quiets down. Nope, it started raining, and sure enough, it started blowing sideways. So I'm getting hit with like 42-degree temperatures in sideways rain. Dude, not a good way to welcome back.
Welcome to Ohio.
Welcome back.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been weird. But today was almost 70 today. It was nice.
Yeah.
But then over the weekend, it was like 45.
Yeah.
We're out in hoodies and, yeah. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But so, needless to say, you really enjoyed Florida.
Oh, Florida's beautiful.
But you're there in the right time of year, too.
Yeah.
In the summertime, it gets hot.
Yeah. I like the heat, though, so I could do the extreme heat.
I remember...
Are you a heat fan?
I like, I've been to Arizona before. Mm-hmm. I like that heat a lot more than Florida because my grandparents are from Florida. Well, they're not from Florida, but they lived in Florida when I was like a teenager. So my dad worked for the airlines, so we would fly for free or whatever. We had to pay tax on tickets, but that was it. And so in the summertime, we'd go stay with my grandma for like a month sometimes. But we'd help my grandpa outside with yard work in July. Super hot, but we would go out and we'd do yard work at like 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning till like 10 or 11.
And that's it.
And then that was it. And then, in the heat of the day, I might walk down to the 7-Eleven down the street and get myself a slushie. So.
That was good childhood memory, I'm sure.
Yeah, especially for a diabetic. That was great. So, yeah. But yeah, dude, it gets hot in the summer there. I like the drier heat. So.
Which would be like that Arizona heat.
Yeah, out west. I don't know. That's just me.
Yeah.
I'd still live in Florida. I'd live there in a heartbeat. Got a good governor.
You gonna move? To Florida.
Here we come. Florida, here we come. DeSantis, look out for us. We're on the way. Yeah, but good week other than
getting welcome back that way. Yeah, it was a good week. Yeah, we had a great time. Traveling back worked out pretty well for us. So
yeah, kids did okay.
Nice. Kids did good. Yeah, there was like that false scare of that tornado.
I didn't hear about that. No.
Just be glad. Yeah, we were warned by people like tornadoes were coming and severe like rainstorms. So we stayed back in North Carolina for that second day. That's when we shot the pod last week.
I remember the rainstorms. I didn't realize there was tornadoes.
They were supposed to be all that stuff.
Okay.
Southern Ohio, we saw a couple baseball fields underwater. So it was legit down there. But everywhere else, didn't see much of anything.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
How about for you?
Oh, man. Yeah. Good week. This is being filmed with the new iPhone 15 Pro. Not the Max. My hands aren't big enough. But no, I saw a commercial. I was at my mom's on Easter, and I forget what we were watching. Something on like some streaming service that had an ad, and it said like, get the iPhone 15 Pro on us with the Ultimate Unlimited plan. I was like, hey, I have that plan. So I was like, let's see if it really is on them. So I opened up the Verizon app, and then it told me it was going to cost me $2.47 per month to get the iPhone 15 Pro. And I was like, that's nothing. You know, you have to sign a contract or whatever, so you're in it for 3 years. But I was like, that's $90. That's nothing. So I just clicked it right there while I was sitting on the couch, and then in 2 days it arrived at the house. And then you set the old phone next to the new phone, and then you like scan it somehow with the camera, and it just transferred everything over.
Dude, that's
pretty incredible. Pretty cool. I remember going back in the day, going to like the Sprint store and like standing there waiting around and waiting for someone to help you, and they hook up your phone to this machine and it backs it up, and then it's just like,
oh yeah,
dude, we've come such a long way. So
for the good.
Yeah,
for the good.
It's super convenient. Yeah, it was.
My
really
wife,
nice.
now she'll correct me for sure, but I want to say, did they have to have her phone overnight, or was it for like this extended amount of time where she had to come back, and she had so many photos and videos that had not been backed up that they're like, oh yeah, this is going to take us like hours.
Huh. That was recently?
A couple years back, before today's technology.
Okay, before like the iCloud backups and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's what's crazy is like you do this iCloud backup, and I could like reset your phone and log in, and it would just replicate the phone on that phone. It's crazy. The one thing that was annoying is you have to log into all your apps again. So like you have to sign in on everything that needs signed in on.
Yeah, probably
that was
security
annoying.
features.
Yeah, but yeah, that was cool. Glad I did that.
Would you be interested if they developed, let's say Steve Jobs came back?
Back
We
from
just
the grave?
celebrated Easter a couple weeks ago.
The resurrection of Steve Jobs. I feel like that's a little sacrilegious, but go ahead.
Well, no, like let's say he just came back. If he could create a personal iCloud for Jrich,
What do you mean?
like not your phone, but for you, you could like reset yourself and be like cleared.
I bet you that will be technology at some point if the Lord tarries. I bet you there'll be people backed up. You think so? Like grandpa's in the nursing home, he's about to go, we back him up and we put him in a computer. We put him in AI, like some kind of...
Yeah. I mean, I've heard about, what's his face, Mark Cuban. They're tapping into some sort of technology that would actually tap into your brain.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're probably not too far.
Yeah. I don't want to be backed up. Let me pass.
You gonna pass on that?
Yeah. Let me go. I'll be okay.
What if they had the technology, though, that you could, like, I don't know, you could reset your diabetes?
Oh, yeah, for sure. No brainer. Yeah, any kind of ailment, get rid of it.
Reset the ailments.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be cool.
It'd be fun. You could do a countdown. You could be like,
3,
2, 1.
And then all of a sudden everything's just like fixed. It's called heaven.
That's true. That's true. That's the true iCloud backup.
Would you do time travel if that were possible?
Which direction? Back or forward?
Whatever way you want.
How long am I there?
It's up to you. You got the DeLorean, Marty McFly. You can do whatever you want. Great Scott!
Wow, that's an interesting question. I think I would. I don't know. Part of me would want to go to the future. But then part of me would rather go way back in time.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd be more drawn to way back in time. I think with having kids, I wouldn't want to know the future.
Yep. That's dangerous.
That could be really dangerous because all of a sudden I've got a 2-year-old that I'm now parenting because I see her at 55 and I'm like, not a good life.
Yeah. Yeah. I always, whenever anyone says good life, I always think of the Michael Scott episode where he's Prison Mike. Do you remember that episode?
Prison Mike.
And he's like, "You got a good life! You got a good life!" Where did you learn about all this stuff about Prison Mike?
Yeah. Oh, dude, I search his gifts the most out of any of them.
Oh, yeah. Office.
Always.
Yeah. Seinfeld and The Office. There's so many things about Seinfeld that apply to real life, but then same thing with The Office. But I feel like The Office has more, like, gifts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or some people call them GIFs. You've heard people call them that? I've heard people call them that.
GIFs?
Yeah. Like, what is it, peanut butter? So, yeah, I don't think I would go forward in time because I don't want to know. I don't think we're able to handle it.
Yeah.
You know, like I already have enough anxiety about the future. How much worse would it be if I went 10 years forward and I saw myself as a 400-pound? If I walked in here, I was sitting on the couch, I just turned and looked at myself. Oh, a chicken wing out of my mouth.
But you might not even hear yourself. You could be so
far
bad.
gone. Yeah.
So far gone.
Because like right now,
DoorDash.
My DoorDash is here. Can you get that? But right now, I'm
leave it at the door.
Because I'm like, okay, like this too shall pass. This season of life, like I'm here now, but I won't be here forever. But like if I go forward 10 years and I'm like, oh crap, I'm still there. Like that's gonna be rough.
But if you could go forward, but then when you came back to reality, if you didn't know, you couldn't remember anything, you weren't any worse for going forward.
But then what's the point?
That's true. You need to know.
I want to go back. I would go back and talk to myself in a younger version of me.
Before 270, 280, younger version?
Probably I'd talk to that guy.
Talk to him.
So when I was like 24.
Okay.
25. I'd go talk to that guy.
Are you meeting this guy at like Applebee's?
I'm going to a Waffle House late at night.
Okay.
No, it doesn't matter. Maybe I just go to my house and just, got the key, open the door. Hey, you know who I am? Yeah, big fella. I need to talk to you for a minute. Sit down. I just give myself advice on where I'm at now. But who knows if I would heed the advice or if you have to learn it through. I think you told me that when the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
Yep.
And so it's like
all of us.
Yeah, so would I even heed the words? But then I'd also like to go back and see like some stuff in history. That'd be cool. So
there was a show that we saw commercials for, and it would be fascinating as well. And it was talking about Hitler's, like some of his wealth that he was transporting. And so there were some Nazi ships, I forget what kind of ships they were, that had actually sunk, and like based off of their bearings and where they're at, they're like, why would they be going this direction? Other than to like take things there, because the cruise ships, that the way that they sank, they were very bottom heavy. So they said, was there gold? Like what was in there? I always think that'd be cool to be like, if you could go back in history and just be there, like just kind of observing it, and just being like, you rascal.
Yeah. Or like learn the locations and then come back and find it today.
Oh yeah.
It's like, so Back to the Future, viewers, is one of my favorite movies of all time. Did you know that?
No.
So in high school I had this art teacher who also had alopecia, which is super rare, but it made school easier. And so one of his favorite movies was Back to the Future. So it was like every day we would play Back to the Future 1, 2, or 3 in art class when we're just drawing whatever. And you only get through 30 minutes a day, so it takes you a little while to get through a movie. 3 classes, 4 classes. So I love that movie. But in the movie, Marty McFly goes back. He goes to the future, and he buys a sports almanac, and then he goes back to the past, and he wants to bet on games and stuff like that. And Doc is like, Marty, the events you do here will have future consequences greater than you can imagine. Like, I don't know. It's really cool. But, I would want to go back to the past, see some stuff. That'd be really neat. So.
Yeah. Wars or?
Probably not wars necessarily.
Would you go back to like Mike Vick and the illegal
The
dog fighting?
Exactly.
Dog
That's
fighting?
exactly what I had
Okay.
in mind. Yeah, if I could see Michael Vick dogfight, that'd be
That'd be
fantastic.
pretty cool.
Yeah,
What's up, Mike?
yeah, or like visit Michael Jackson's house, something like that, the Neverland Ranch. That'd be fantastic. No, I'm thinking like see some Bible stories, maybe see some like Revolutionary War era, or like I don't know, because then the fear would be like, what if you do go back and you get in a jam and you can't get back? Like, that'd be kind of terrifying.
Yeah, you're in the Revolutionary War period with this car.
How do you get back? And like,
How do you get back? There's no pavement.
and what if someone finds this car? Like, I would feel more comfortable if it was like a ring or something.
Oh,
Like you
yeah.
put the ring on, you time travel. Like, I don't want a car that I'm having to park somewhere and
Yeah.
yeah,
Too many things could go wrong.
exactly. Yeah. So, viewers, if you have a time machine, you ever seen Napoleon Dynamite?
Oh, I love that show.
They get that time machine and he's like shocking himself right in the groin. Like, so funny. But if you have a time machine, viewers, let us know. Maybe we'll do it on a segment here and we'll travel back.
You know where I'd travel back to? I'd travel back to, what was your first house address? The 2-story.
The place that I bought,
Yeah.
872 Phillips Road.
I'd travel back to there. I'd travel back to a day and time in which you were housing a certain Chapman.
Matt Chapman.
Just after the Sunday night fellowship.
So I take it I haven't told this story on the podcast before.
I don't think you have, but
Okay.
I'd like to get a
I'll tell it.
first-hand account in person.
Okay, so let's introduce Chaps.
Yeah, he's a big part of both of our lives. We've invested a lot.
Yeah, so we met Chaps,
Yep.
and we won't give his full name for his privacy.
Yeah.
This is his nickname, Chaps.
Chaps.
Okay? We met Chaps when Chaps was probably like 11 years old or so, I would think.
Right around there, yeah.
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 So Jeremy used to do a van route on Wednesday night and pick kids up for church, and I would ride along with him. So we'd go and we'd be picking these kids up, taking these kids home, and we got Chaps. We started picking up Chaps. Right?
Always wearing a that Steelers starter jacket.
Still to this day, he's wearing Steelers gear. So, he's a chubby kid, and
But we were both Huskies, so we kind of just felt for
it's
him.
just, yeah, hey, I'm with you, buddy. That's me too, And so, so we take Chaps and we're just investing in this kid. He's a kid. He doesn't have, his parents aren't in church, and we're just trying to invest in this kid, whatever. So that's what we do. And, thank God for those opportunities. And he's a great guy, and I love him. I still talk to him. He's a good friend. But he had a hankering for some sandwiches sometimes. He loved the sandwiches. He's like an 11-year-old kid, and he came like X amount of times or did something at church or whatever, and you're like, I'll take you to Wendy's, get you whatever you want. Do you remember what he ordered? He
He's a Baconator.
He walks up and he's like, I'll take 2 Baconators and a Frosty. You remember that? So this 11-year-old kid orders 2 full-size Baconators,
about that.
2 Baconators and a Frosty, and that's how he said it. And so that was just kind of like the theme. So he keeps coming to church. So Jeremy stops.
Was it like a Pavlov's dog theory? Like, was he coming to church because we kept taking him to get sandwiches?
No, he liked hanging out. He liked us.
He did.
He liked church, whatever. So you stopped doing the van. I continue doing the van. And so now I'm investing in Chaps. And so I have a house, 872 Phillips Road, Northeast, Massillon, Ohio, 44646, I think it was.
City of Champions.
Massillon, Ohio, City of Champions, okay? And so I have a house, and I'm newly married, and probably not newly, I guess 2 years at this point, 2 or 3 years, so not like fresh, but I'm investing in Chaps still, and I'm like, there's a graduation party. There's a graduation party for our friend Christopher Doney, who is a faithful listener Shout out, Chris. How you doing, buddy? Chris's graduation party. Matt eats 12 pulled pork sandwiches. 12 pulled pork sandwiches. I want you to imagine 12 pulled pork sandwiches and then all of them going inside of your body. Okay? And then there was a lady in the church that was Filipino, and she made this stuff that had like these little noodles and carrots and all this stuff chopped up.
Spring rolls?
It wasn't rolls. It was just like pasta, but like really fine pasta. And it had vegetables in it and like sauce and like some meat and stuff like that in it. So he's going to town on this stuff. So I was like, all right, man, like, you know, hey, you want to spend the night? We'll have me and you can hang out, watch a movie, play Xbox, whatever. So I was like, do you need anything? And he's like, yeah, I could use some clothes, whatever. So I took him to the store and I got him, you know, some socks or undershirts or something. I forget what it was, but just something basic. You know, it wasn't a big deal. And I was like, why don't you get yourself a snack? Like, what sounds good? He's like, Snickers and Pepsi. I was like, go ahead, man.
Okay, pause there.
Okay.
If you were in his shoes and someone said, hey, go get a snack, what would you get?
I would get, like, you want to know, like, what kind of snack I would get?
Yeah, that stage of life.
Yeah, I'd probably get, like a bottle of Coke, like a 20-ounce Diet Coke, and I, you know, like a snack cake or like a candy bar or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty reasonable. But Matt gets a 6-pack of full-size Snickers bars and a 2-liter of Pepsi. I just gave out his real name. I'm so sorry, viewers. Our friend Chaps gets a 6-pack of Snickers bars and a 2-liter of Pepsi. And he saved me a Snickers bar. So he ate 5 of them. This is after he had 12 pulled pork sandwiches and a big plate of pasta. Okay? And he drank the entire 2-liter of Pepsi. So in the morning, I'm in my room, and my wife is in the bathroom getting ready for church because it's now Sunday morning. This graduation party's on a Saturday. We stayed up late watching a movie. He drinks the whole 2-liter, eats 5 full-size candy bars. And then in the morning, I hear this noise coming from my guest room. And I'm a new homeowner, and we just had a baby. Like, you know, life's kind of busy, and she's in the bathroom, and I hear, Justin, I'm going to be sick. And I just hear the sickness, right? And, you know, most of you would say, you know, like, put yourself in that situation, viewer. You're in a situation where it's a typical Sunday morning. You've got 12 pulled pork sandwiches, 5 Snickers bars, and a 2-liter of Pepsi in your stomach, just like every Sunday morning you've ever had. And you're looking around, you're in someone else's guest room, and you're looking around, like, surely you probably look around the room and think, I'm about to get sick. Where should I get sick? Immediately, I'm thinking, like, a dresser drawer. Like, or, like, hang my head out the window of the guest room and throw up outside, or do the dresser drawer. Or like,
a trash can.
If there's a trash can in the room, or like run down in the kitchen and use the sink because someone's in the bathroom upstairs, or run down in the bathroom downstairs and use that bathroom toilet, right? Or like, here's the thing too with this room: there was a trick-or-treating bucket in the room and a 5-gallon bucket in the room.
Almost like you preemptively knew,
but I didn't know. It just so happened that we were storing some junk in this room, just because that's how it was.
Yeah,
but I was even thinking, like, worst case scenario for you guys watching on YouTube, I would do something like this, where I put my head down in my shirt and I just throw up on myself because I don't want to throw up on someone else's stuff.
Yeah.
Absolute worst case. Let's say I don't even have a shirt on and there's no way for me to throw up. Like, you probably throw up in your hands. I would go into a corner and I would throw up in my hands. Like, I can't mess this guy's house up.
No.
Right? This super nice guy loves me, cares about me. I can't do this.
No.
But that's exactly what happened to me that eerie Sunday morning back in 2013.
Now, what were you doing in that moment? Your wife's getting ready.
I was in the bedroom. I think I was with our son.
Okay.
And, you know, So I hear the sickness happening. And so I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, this is bad. But I didn't realize how bad that it was, because instead of doing any of those things that we talked about, he decided to do an unconventional technique of spinning around in a circle.
What's the name of that? The lotus.
The lotus.
Do you not remember the lotus? Blades of Glory.
No, I don't. Is it like is that like their skating routine?
That was their skate. That was the move that was taking the head off.
Okay.
It's like spinning, flipping, twisting.
That's essentially
dangerous.
It was like it's like someone like pulled a string on a top or something and just let this guy loose. But he threw up all over the room. My grandmother had made us a quilt.
So how do you think he threw up all over the room? Can you reenact that for the YouTube people?
I don't know if he was like standing here and like did something like this. Like that's what I'm imagining. I obviously wasn't there. Okay.
Yeah.
But there was a
here.
quilt in the corner of the room that had like a message stitched into it, like wedding anniversary date, and like personalized quilt patches on this thing that my grandma spent hours on. It is stained to this day. I have it in the basement with the barbecue sauce from the pork sandwiches and the Pepsi. All that brown color stained on there. I shouldn't have had this in the room. I had a 12 gauge shotgun in the corner of the room. I should not, I'm just saying it. I shouldn't have had it in the room. It was unloaded. At the time, this guy was like 19 years old. There were no bullets in the room. It was just sitting in the corner of the room. We had recently moved in the house. We're still getting stuff moved in.
Yeah, you got a 5-gallon Home Depot bucket.
I had
Halloween
to do a
bucket.
deep clean on this shotgun. There were chunks of carrot in this thing, and it just was all over this shotgun. Okay, it was all over the carpet to the point where I literally replaced all of the carpet in the upstairs of the home. It cost me thousands of dollars because of this. This cost me it cost me like $2,500 to replace the carpet in the upstairs of the house. Because you just can't do it in one room and not do it in the rest. So I had to do it in the whole upstairs because the carpet is stained orange. I tried to get it out, it wouldn't get out.
Do you have pictures of this?
I don't.
It's almost like a murder.
Because it was before camera phones were real. I mean, it's come a long way in, 11 years or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. And so I didn't get a picture of it. All I remember is I got scolded by my wife, and she's like, you need to clean this up. And I was like, I will. Don't worry. We'll get it. And so...
Of all times to get sick on a Sunday morning.
And he did not help me clean it up. I had to tell him, like, you're helping me clean this up. It was messed up. So, yeah, that's one of the grossest things I've ever been a part of.
But if we could go back there, I feel like there would be a lot of us that would like to just hang out. If we could just be standing in the hallway, just like listening and seeing this
watching it unfold.
I don't know if I want to see it unfold, like the spinning.
Yeah.
But in the hallway, just watching you go, straight in there. And just, I would like to see your face the moment you looked in, you see your shotgun with chunks.
Yeah.
You see the grandma's quilt.
Yeah.
What thoughts went through your mind?
I said to him, there was a bucket right there. And I didn't see it. And yeah. I was like, it's all right. So he went downstairs and got cleaned up, and yeah, it was a mess, man. It was a mess. But those are the kind of things that happen to me in life. I don't know. I have weird things happen to me in my life.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
Yeah.
That's a weird one.
It was super weird. So
time traveling, that would make sense. I'd be cool going back to that.
Yeah. You would see that instance right there.
Just a glimpse of your life.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's a lot of interesting things like that have happened to me, I feel like. So, I don't know. You asked how the week was.
Yeah. Somehow we got derailed.
Yes. I had an interesting, I wrote this down. I had an interesting phone call. It was like 5:30 at night, and it came through on like a city nearby. like Richville or I don't remember, but it said on my phone, and I was like, who do I know there? Like, it's local, I'll answer it, whatever. You know, so I picked up the phone and it was like, hey, it's Sabrina calling from the Honda, Dio Honda. I was like, oh, hi, how you doing? You still got your 2014 Pilot? And I was like, I do, yeah, I do. And she was like, you interested in trading it in? Might be worth more than you think. And I was like, thanks for the call, Sabrina. There's no way you're going to give me what I owe on this car. And she's like, you might be surprised. And I was like, or no. I said, there's no way you're going to give me what I owe on this car. She immediately switched over into a deep, like, throaty sounding voice. And she was like, oh, how much you owe on the car? What are your payments? We can look at getting you out of those payments. And I was just like, I'm sorry, I'm not interested. And I hung up the phone. But I was like, this phone call got real weird, real fast. And I was just very uncomfortable. And I was like, I got to get off the phone with this. This is so strange. And yeah, I don't think that was the weirdest thing that happened to me. I was then later, like the next day, in a Dollar General. Of course, because I'm always in Dollar General. And I don't even mean to be, but I end up in Dollar Generals. And so I was in this Dollar General out in Orville that I'm never in. And I get what I want because I'm doing my one meal a day still. Mm-hmm. And I'll be honest, I really need to do better about watching my carbs. Because I'll view it and I'll say, one meal. What do you want for dessert tonight, Justin? Oh, you want some Oreos or you want some of this. And so, viewers, that's my pledge to you is starting tomorrow, okay, we're going to get on it. So that'd be Tuesday.
And then the water bottle.
Yeah. Starting tomorrow, I'm gonna watch my carbs and not be eating a ton of trash every night. But anyways, I was in there looking for a sweet treat, okay? And so I find the candy bar, I forget what I was even getting, some kind of junk food, and I walk up to the front, but there's no cashier, there's a lady standing in front of me, and I hear yelling going on. Where are you at? Where are you at? And I'm like, what is going on? And this lady has 4 kids who she has sent through the aisles of the store.
To get stuff.
No, to find the Dollar General employee to ring them out.
No!
Because they were not up front. She's like, I'm looking for a bell. I don't see a bell up here. And so there were 4 kids who just got like dirt all over their faces, like running through the aisles, like, I don't find him. You find him. Where's he at? Where's he at? Like running through the aisles. And they finally found the guy. And they're like, my mom needs you up front. And he comes up and he rings us out. And I'm just like, this is wild. Like, what in the world? Like, these kids think this is normal. This lady thinks this is normal.
Dude, that is unreal.
I just let it go. Like, I just said something to him like, oh, I'm glad they found you. And he just like kind of gave like a sarcastic laugh or whatever. But I was like, this is
wonder where
crazy.
They found him at.
He was like in one of the aisles stocking stuff. You know, there's always...
He's probably just like, yeah, this is the usual. We're playing like hide and seek with the customers.
Who knows? But yeah, these kids running through the aisles searching for this guy. And I'm just like, this is insane.
Do you think he took your sales training course?
Yes.
He probably
my acronym?
Your acronym.
Yeah. So I do sales for a living, viewers. And so I have an acronym.
Yep.
It's called SAIL. So the S stands for salutation. Immediately when I arrive at the customer's house, I say hello. I greet them. And then the A stands for aggression. I move into a very aggressive stance to establish my dominance over the customer. The L stands for laughs. I switch into a mode of laughing so they don't know whether to be afraid or whether to love me. It's like an abusive relationship where they keep coming back for more. And then E is evasive. I become very shifty after I've had this appointment with the customer so they can't get a hold of me. They're calling me, they can't reach me. And then when they finally do get a hold of me, I close the sale. That's sales in a nutshell.
I think this guy took your course.
Yeah, he's being evasive.
He was evasive. He was at that last step.
Yep. And then when they finally got a hold of him.
Now let's just say I'm a new viewer or I'm maybe a regular, and I hear this story, and I was actually needing some new spectacles.
Okay,
and
sure.
I said, you know what? I'm going to take these guys. There's a great deal. Maybe I'll take them up on the offer. But after hearing about that interaction, I'm a little worried. Can I trust going to a Dollar General and getting service that I need?
Yeah. So, first of all, a lot of people wear glasses. It's not uncommon. I feel like as a kid, back in the 90s, people were saying things like 4 eyes and all this kind of stuff.
Not today.
Guys, it's not like that anymore, okay? Glasses are in style. You're looking for something to complement your face.
Yep.
For me...
Frame the eyes.
I have nothing going on. We're basically just working with a big circle here, right? And so... sometimes a pair of lenses will really spice things up for me. I don't have any eyebrows, I don't have any eyelashes, I don't have any hair, I don't have any beard. It's just a blank canvas. So sometimes adding a little color or pizzazz might be exactly what I need. And so when I need that, I head down to Enjoy Optical in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. That's definitely one of the best places to get your glasses at. So we have a friend who is a doctor, Wash Joe Cox is his name, and he takes care of customers. You have to make an appointment because he's on a strict work schedule of 4 hours or less per day. But he will get you all taken care of. But maybe you're like most people and you're saying, Justin, I'm not as flush as you are. I can't afford to fly to Oklahoma City to get my glasses. That's okay. Because luckily for you, there are thousands of Dollar Generals nationwide that have Enjoy Optical pop-up campuses in them. So this is their eyeglass section that is a mini Enjoy Optical store. So you can go there and you can find different fits, forms, and styles, and everything that you're wanting. Do you want sunglasses? Do you want a prescription lens? Do you want readers? Do you want some blue light glasses? Are you going blind and need the glasses that have lenses on the side? What do you need? You can find it at Enjoy Optical Dollar General locations nationwide. Thousands of them. Usually in bad areas of town. Sometimes there's a Dollar General across the street from a Dollar General. Sometimes it's in the middle of a cornfield where you're just driving by and all of a sudden you're like, oh snap, that's a Dollar General. Stop by, go in, get fitted. And Jeremy brings up a good point. Sometimes the Dollar General staff aren't available. They're not friendly. They refuse to give you change for a 20. There's all kinds of different things that can happen. Maybe they don't have teeth or all their fingers or something like that, right? I'm sorry, you've nailed it. I do my best not to laugh. Maybe that's the situation. Do not have fear, because you can actually call our friend Wash on his personal cell phone. And I'm going to give you that number. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that. But however, it's different staff. And so the Enjoy Optical pop-up campuses, our friend Wash actually pays for someone to be in each Dollar General all the time to be taking care of you and your eyeglasses needs. So head on down there and get fitted today. Use the code SCAM and you're going to get $10 off your first pair of frames, and you're going to get a free pair of lenses with each purchase of frames that you make.
I'm sold. You've sold me.
All right, head on down.
I'm heading down tonight.
Yeah, take your kids down to the one in Orville. They can find the guy that's working and he can take care of you. Sounds good. It's wild.
Yeah, this segment has been sponsored.
Yeah, this is an Enjoy Optical sponsored segment.
Yeah.
So,
which we actually pay for. He doesn't pay us. We pay him.
yes.
$2,500 in ad read. So that might be contributing to the Dollar General hourly wage, I'm guessing.
Yeah. So it's a big expense, man, to be paying that many employees, thousands nationwide.
I think there's just a lot. He just doesn't have the goodness of his heart. He's always been a giver.
He's a generous guy.
He's a generous guy.
He really is. So head on down there, get taken care of. You won't regret it. Something I found that was cool. I have Facebook. I'm relatively new to it. I got it in January, and I got my first Facebook ad purchase here.
You do. They got you.
They got me.
Really?
I didn't buy it through the ad. I bought it through Amazon.
Okay.
But this is the product, viewers. It's called Talking Points Kids. And so what it is let me find the instruction card here if I can. My kids have shuffled all these around. I can't find it. I think I know it by heart. So there's different categories of questions. Basically, this is 200 random questions.
Okay.
Is what it is. And it's specifically for kids. You can buy them for adults, for couples. You can buy one that's Christian that has like Bible type stuff that you're discussing, but like has random questions on it. So if you could change one rule, what would it be and why? That's a question. If you and I switch bodies for a day, what do you think you would do? This is for your kids. So like they'd get to be a grown-up, you'd get to be a kid. What's your favorite song? What were the 3 best parts of your day today? If you could make a national holiday, what would it be and how would you celebrate it? Do you like playing outside or inside more? So basically, they're just conversational cards.
Yeah, they stretch you outside the normal conversation.
Right. And it's really good because some of them are about school. Like there's like you see the different colors here.
Yeah.
Like this one is supposed to be fun. This one is school. This one is tough questions. I forget what they all are, but there's like a key card. It's in here, shuffled in here somewhere. But I was like, you know what? This is like $20, $25 or something, but I'm going to get it, and we're just going to do them like on a Saturday night. And
Love it.
Yeah, like we'll do a movie night or something, but before we do anything like that, let's have conversation, right? And it's fun. And so we took them in the car. We were doing them in the car. We're in the car a lot. We drive a lot. My kids, it's, you know, it's sad. We're in the car a lot. So I was like, this is a good thing we can do in the car.
Yeah.
And they love it. They were going through them and they were like, let me pick one. I want to pick the card next. And then we're just going around and talking. And each card is getting you 3 to 5 minutes of conversation. I was like, this is pretty cool. Like, good purchase. So definitely recommend this product. They had it on Amazon. Check it out. But one of the questions was, what is your favorite thing about your city and your least favorite thing about your city?
Oh, man. What did your kids say?
And we live in the city of Massillon, Ohio. Viewers, take some time and look up Massillon, Ohio. Get on Google. Check it out. Come visit the town one day on a Saturday. Just come walk through. See some of the abandoned businesses and some different things going on here.
Yeah.
Local populace. Yeah.
I mean, I think when they look up Massillon, they're going to see the very first thing, Champions.
So, this is what my son Jonah said. I love Massillon because it's the city of champions. That's what he said. I love Massillon because it's the city of champions.
Raised him well, my friend.
I don't like all the trash that's all around. He's talking about all the litter all over the streets. And I'm like, that is awesome. Like, I didn't do that. I was like, maybe like trash on the roads. He's like, yeah, I don't like that either. Yeah, we should try to, like, let's always try to clean up like around our house and stuff like that. Because I don't understand littering. Like, I don't get it. Like,
no.
I bought on Amazon, it was $7 for a car trash can. And it straps on the back of the seat, and you just put whatever you want there, and you empty it whenever. Because you're driving around, you have trash. It's inevitable, especially with kids.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of stuff floating around. So it's like, guys, use the trash can. Put the stuff in the trash. I don't understand people who are just driving down the road, chucking crap out of the windows. Like, what are you doing? Like, if you're out there and you're doing that, chances are you probably owned a cat and you already unsubscribed last episode. But if you didn't, if you're littering, unsubscribe now. Like, what is wrong with you? We don't... Get out of here.
Do you remember the time you threw that whole bag of McDonald's out the window and you yelled Al Gore?
It sounds like something I would do. I'm sorry.
It was on the way back from North Carolina. This is when we were driving, and remember, this was just before, it was either before you hit the orange cat on the highway, go back to episode 2 or 3?
Something like that.
Some early on.
Yeah.
And I just remember we had stopped at McDonald's, and you had a full bag of stuff, and I remember you opened your window and you threw it out, and you're like, Al Gore, close the window.
Yeah.
Dude, we just lost it.
Yeah. And I repent of that, and I'm thankful that God's mercies are new every morning. Amen.
Amen to that.
I just don't understand people who are
You
just
probably
like,
recognize you were a champion at that point.
That's the thing. Is I've embraced my champion identity as a Massillon resident, and I would not do that today. And so when my son said that, I was just like, wow, this is amazing. That as a 9-year-old kid, he's like, I don't like all the trash around. And I'm like, yeah, that's a really good point, buddy. That's a really good point. So then I got to thinking about my environmental footprint. How big do you think your environmental footprint is? Are you using a lot of trash, a lot of landfill space? What do you think? Is Al Gore proud of you, not proud of you?
I think we use a very minimal footprint. Everything that can burn, like, you know, if it's filler paper or cardboard or anything like that, does not go to the landfill. It goes to our front trash pile.
You just burn it all.
Just burn it. So we're throwing minimal stuff in there. So, like, let's say we buy pepperoni and it's in the plastic. It's going to go in there.
In the fire?
No. In our trash can.
Okay.
But, like, let's say our jug of milk that's in cardboard, it goes right in the fire. So we're conscious that way.
Okay. That's better than me. I should be more like that. Because I'm in the country, I have a burn barrel outside. I can easily burn whatever I want. I don't. I just throw it in the trash can.
So you have a high footprint.
Oh.
Large.
Size 14. Special order shoe. I would presume. Al Gore is not my friend.
No.
He would fly over here in his private jet and be very upset about it.
Very upset.
So...
Okay, so I have a question for you. You obviously know my wife pretty well, so she's a proud resident of Massillon.
Yes.
Just take a guess. See if you could guess what would be her favorite things about this city that she lives in.
Probably...
I know there's going to be a long list.
I'm trying to think of myself. What are my favorite things? But are we talking favorite as in a sarcastic way?
Oh, no. Things that she holds very near and dear.
I don't think she holds anything near and dear about Massillon, Ohio. Because didn't she call it something else?
She's called it a few other things
that
before.
Are derogatory terms about the city where she lives. And she, and I do the same thing. Because I technically don't live in Massillon city limits. Like, I don't pay city taxes.
We don't either.
But I'm, like, that street right out there is Massillon. Right here is
Champion Lane.
Yes, Champion Lane, right outside my house. Like, my neighbor, and then the street. He's City of Massillon because he's on the corner, I think, or something.
So you're one house in from the city.
I'm one house in. But I will describe this to people as right outside of Massillon, or, in between Massillon and Dalton or something like that. Like, anything to be like, oh, they're Massillon. Anything to, like, get away from that.
Get away from the city.
Yeah. So, your wife feels the same way. So, I don't think there are any favorites that she has about the city.
No, there's nothing. Lieberman's used to be a highlight for her.
Sure.
But besides that...
full-time donut shop. I respect it. Yeah.
And they had been around for, 120 years?
Sure.
Several generations. So
that's legit.
They were established before Massillon became at its championship caliber.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate some of the nostalgia of the city just because I grew up here.
Yeah.
But, like, a lot of times I'm walking around, I'm like, you gotta be kidding me right now. Like, the way things are run or whatever, I'm just like, man. So, my 9-year-old son had that response, and I just thought it was the best thing in the world. I love it because it's the City of Champions. I don't like it because of the trash. So, it was fun. But this game was... I don't think it's a game, this thing. Because it talks about, it said on here, like, I forget what it said. Kids, it's not that they want to talk, it's that they want to be listened to, or something like that. And I thought that was interesting. So my daughter is, like, all about this, and I think that's what it was. A child seldom needs a good talking to as a good listening to. But that was interesting. Obviously, you need to talk to your kids, but, it's interesting.
Listen. So I had an interesting thing. We're somewhat close to the Dollar General segment. So today I was driving and I stopped at a Mexican grocery store.
What's it called?
Lorena, I think it is. It's in downtown Canton. You cross over the tracks, kind of go up in.
Rough part of town.
It's starting to get into the hood. And I discovered in Florida that I love these Mexican grocery stores because you can get authentic stuff from there, good prices. Kids can get popsicles that don't have all the food dye and stuff in it. We have to watch that with our kids a little bit. So they just have good stuff, and I've just kind of fallen in love with it. So I thought, well, I'm coming over tonight. I picked you up that special drink.
Yeah.
Picked up the hot sauce, and I'm leaving there. And right down the road is a Family Dollar. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Fulton, 12th Street. You know where I'm at?
Yep.
There's a gas station right there. And I happen to witness, and I'm guessing this is often, but there is a gentleman walking a pit.
Nice.
A large pit. So it must have had some like Mastiff or something bred with it. And he's holding this dog back because it's trying to lunge at this other older person with a shopping cart going into the store. Had to pull it back.
Yeah.
I park at the light, or I'm standing at the light, and this older person goes with the shopping cart, and then like 5 seconds later, the guy goes in with the dog into the store.
Of course. Must be an emotional support animal.
Probably. What do you think happened? I mean, we're going to read something about, like, on the news tomorrow.
About an old lady that got ate by a pit bull in a Family Dollar.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Dude, it was unreal. I just happened to be there at the right time and witnessed that.
I just don't like pit bulls. I know we've talked about that on this podcast before, but I just don't like them.
Yeah.
I just don't feel safe. So I'm just not for me. It's not for me, dog. Yeah. I forget what I was gonna say. I had something in my mind that I was gonna say, but I forget. Along with the cards, Amazon coming through in the clutch for me. Sunday morning, we're getting ready for church, and we dress up for church. So I shouldn't say dress up. Like some people are wearing suits to church, but dress shirt, pair of khakis. Nothing crazy. And my son's Noah, my oldest, he was like, "Dad, none of my shirts fit me." And I'm like, "Nah, like you're making it up. Like let's find you a shirt." And sure enough, he's been growing. And so I'm like, just this one fits today. Like it's fine. This is fine, whatever. And so I'm like, I need to take care of this. So it was so incredibly convenient. I sat on my couch. I grabbed my iPad. I sat on my couch and I was like, "What size shirt do you need?" And so we talked about it. And then I went on Amazon and I ordered for him and Jonah. I was just like, I'm going to get rid of all the clothes. There's too much going on, right? There's like...
Simplify it.
There's like a green plaid shirt, a blue plaid shirt. This shirt's too small. This one's short sleeve. This doesn't fit, whatever. So I was like, all right, I'm going to get each of you a blue shirt and a white shirt, a blue pair of khakis and a tan pair of khakis. And I'm going to get some neckties. If you want to wear a tie, you can wear a tie. And I'll just get like neutral ties that go with anything, right? So I just sit down, ordered all this stuff. Less than 5 minutes, had it all ordered. And it arrived at my house that night. Isn't that insane?
No way.
Yeah. So you asked me when you came in, what's with all the clothes? We had a meltdown Sunday morning. I fixed it. And
that night.
Yeah, and so each of them got a white dress shirt and a blue dress shirt, so 4 shirts, 4 pairs of pants, a belt, and each of them got a polo. Noah wanted red, Jonah wanted blue. So I was like, for like a Wednesday night or something, throw on a polo. It's casual. All that was $130. Wow. And I was like, yeah, it's a brand called Children's Place. I'm not like super familiar, but they make decent stuff from what I hear.
Yeah.
Good reviews. It was like $12 for a pair of pants, $11 for a shirt. And I was just like, but it got here the same day. That was wild.
Dude, Amazon's a different animal.
It's Like,
Thankfully.
it was so much, like, think about, like, taking my 3 kids to Walmart or Target or whatever and shopping for that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it would have taken me a couple of hours. There would have been frustration, whatever. Like, to be able just to click and be like, all right, you need this, boom, boom, same night. Crazy.
Would be fascinating to go through their warehouse, because I know that, like, I've heard of people too ordering like a car part, like a random car part for like an old car, and they have it, and you're like, they literally have housed like everything.
Yeah. And I guess it just depends on like what you're getting, whether or not it's housed at the warehouse closest to you, because that will determine how quick it gets there or whatever. So I'm just like, man, that was so convenient. That saved my life, because I was like, yeah, I'm here right now. I've got 5 minutes. I want to do all my shopping, and it was just
so. Will you shop for yourself on Amazon now after that experience?
I actually did today with that, because I said the same thing for myself. I was like, why do I have so many dress shirts? Like, I've got a blue stripe, I've got a green and blue plaid, I've got a pink shirt, a white shirt, a blue shirt. Like, why do I have all these shirts that are all like 4 years old? Why don't I just get like 3 shirts and say 3 shirts, 2 pairs of pants? With that combination, you've got like 6 to 8 different outfits, and you put a different tie with them if you're wearing a tie or something.
Yeah.
Boom. You know?
What are you gonna do with the rest of them? You gonna burn them?
Yeah, burn them or give them away. Yeah. So, Goodwill or something, whatever.
Dude, what a win!
Yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Coming in for the win.
I wanna simplify a little bit. So, also had a cool thing too. My buddy's mom, I've been making fun. So, I don't do this to everybody, but I will troll people on Facebook.
Okay.
That I know, like, funny. Like, I think it's funny. Like, I trolled your wife a little bit with the ISR.
Yes.
I asked her if I could register in classes, and she never responds. I'm guessing she's hurt. But my buddy's...
You're probably looking for an opening. You probably take up more than a 10-minute slot.
That's true. I need at least a 30-minute slot.
Can I extend out and get an hour slot?
Yeah. So, fit me in, Mariah, please. I'm serious about that. But anyways, I was scarred by my father learning how to swim in a hotel swimming pool, just getting pushed in the deep end. So I need to brush up on my ISR skills. But anyways, what was I going to say? Oh, trolling people on Facebook. So my friend's mom, and I know this lady, been to her house a bunch of times. Tony's mom, Jen. Okay. Remember Jen? You've been to her house before, I think. But she's into sourdough bread. Making sourdough bread. So she will post pictures of loaves of bread on her Facebook page. Like,
almost like it's grandkids to her.
Yeah, post a picture of a loaf of bread. And so I will then critique the picture of the loaf. Like, oh, it'd be really good if you staged it, or put some rustic, like if you put some rustic silverware next to the bread loaf. I really feel like that would go a long way. So then she made a couple of loaves of bread and like staged them real nice, took really nice pictures, and then called me out and said, "This is for my friend Justin Richardson. Like, let me know what you think. You get to pick whatever one of these loaves you want."
Really?
Yes. And so when I came home Friday night from picking up my kids, she had dropped off sourdough cinnamon roll, homemade, a huge loaf of sourdough bread, and then homemade broccoli cheese soup for us. So we had that this weekend.
Wow.
Yeah.
So and trolling pays off.
That's my message to the world. Troll friends and family and people you haven't talked to in a while, and you might get a free loaf of bread out of it.
Maybe you'll get your swimming lessons for free.
Yeah. Hey, maybe we could have her as a sponsor on the pod.
Maybe. We'll see if there's room.
Maybe you're out there and you're getting kind of sick and tired of your kids, and you're thinking, I want to drown these kids. Don't do that. Instead, send them to ISR training, where the certified professionals will drown your kids for you. Yeah, so I got a free loaf of bread. I got some soup.
Dude, how awesome is that?
Yeah.
I've heard someone just said recently, like, the sourdough cinnamon rolls are like next level.
It was so good. It was such a good cinnamon roll. But there was only one cinnamon roll, and so I ate it when my kids were not aware of it, because I didn't want to share it with them. That sounds bad, but
kids are listening now.
Yeah, my kids are like, Dad, what? Yeah, I told him there was only one, so.
Okay, so why do you think that the sourdough phenomena has just... Was it around years ago and it's kind of coming back in?
Yeah.
Is that the deal, or is it just like a whole new thing we've discovered? Like
I think it's
electric
been
cars
around.
or something?
Well, I think some people will say like, oh, my grandma used to make sourdough bread all the time. Mine did not.
Mine did not.
Yeah, my grandma was eating jelly beans for dinner, so
Yeah.
she wasn't
Jelly
concerned.
beans, Wonder Bread.
Yeah. And so, but you hear people say that. The thing about sourdough bread that's interesting is that it's not just like, oh, you take out your flour and stuff like that. You have a jar on the counter that is literally like alive, essentially. So you have like a fungus or something, like it's...
It would be like yeast, where it's like a living...
Yeah, it's
living.
like that, but you have to feed it. So every day you're going to put, or not every day, but you guys, some of you guys know about this stuff. Leave us a comment. Tell us how it works. But from my understanding, you have to feed this sourdough starter, is what they call it. Then you pull a little bit of it out, and then you mix it with flour, and then you create a sourdough bread loaf. So it's like a whole hobby. Like, I couldn't just be like, let's go in the kitchen and make some sourdough. It's like,
You need to have this thing living.
you get a starter from a friend, like that's, or you can figure out how to make it yourself. But like someone can split their starter in half and give half to you, and then you feed it and get it to the point where you can then make a loaf of bread. It's interesting.
With that being the case, where do you think the original starter was kept? Because I feel like we didn't know about sourdough bread, and then all of a sudden everybody has access to this starter. Was it just like locked up in the Vatican or what?
Yeah, I think so.
Just they just released it.
The Pope and his friends are in there
He's
making
like,
sourdough.
listen, we can't just keep this communion to ourselves. This sourdough communion bread, we need to distribute.
Yeah, well, they had to figure out a way to. Yeah, and to keep the priests busy, so they're like, "Hey, just make some bread. Just make some bread."
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So
COVID, we're not serving the people.
I don't understand the science of it all.
Interesting.
But it was really cool getting a free loaf
And
of
what
bread.
a nice gesture.
Dude, it's so nice.
Dinner,
Yeah.
fresh bread.
So we were just standing around the island in the kitchen with this hunk of bread, dipping it in the bowl of soup.
Dude, that's
Just
unbelievable.
everyone's just going to town. My daughter picks up the whole loaf, and it's just so. It was cool.
Dude, troll.
Yeah.
If you learn nothing else, troll.
Yep. I like doing it. I like giving people a hard time.
So that kind of kicks us into the food segment we were talking about with foods in church.
Yeah.
So your friend Aaron, his son, kind of, there's a story a few weeks ago about him. Was he eating gummies or something in church during communion?
He's having Swedish fish potentially during communion. At this point now he's saying it was stuck in his tooth, his back of his tooth from before he ate the bread. He was snacking on a Swedish fish.
It was like an
just
appetizer.
A remnant that was there, and he was trying to work out during the communion service.
Okay.
It's neither here nor there. The Lord knows, the Lord sees.
Yeah.
So that's all we know. So we were talking about eating food in church.
Yeah. What's appropriate? What's not?
That's a good question. So I've got some things that I think are appropriate. You might have some different things.
Okay.
I used to be against coffee in church.
Really?
I am now for it.
Okay.
I bring my
what
coffee
swayed
into
you?
church. The fact that I wanted to do it. Was all it was. Because I used to view people and I was like, these liberals bringing coffee into church. Like, you don't even take this seriously. But I'm like, all right, I enjoy coffee in church.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's acceptable nowadays. Would it have been acceptable 50 years ago to walk into church with a cup of coffee?
I don't know, because they would probably have dinner on the grounds afterwards. So they're probably outside cooking up food and cowboy coffee.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, you're just sitting out back on a log listening to the preacher and just sipping coffee
Yeah, if you're
with
outside.
sourdough bread.
Sure, from the Pope's starter. But with sourdough bread, sure, that's, I'm sorry. I don't even know what I'm saying. Yeah, they're having sourdough bread on the grounds, coffee, dinner on the grounds. I'm talking about in the church service. So the pastor is up there preaching the message. The choir is sung. The worship service is over. Prayer has taken place. Open your Bible to 1 Samuel chapter 4. At this point, what is acceptable to be consuming? So coffee. We're both in agreement.
Definitely agree with you on coffee, for sure. I think one of the first ones that comes to mind is pull and peel.
A Twizzler's
pull and peel. So picture this. He's like, all right, open your Bibles to 1 Samuel 4. And you're like, okay, so I'm there. He's like, now hold your place.
You gotta have a
pull and peel.
So you just pull off a piece of your Twizzler, you put it in the page, and you flip to the next place. Yeah.
Is it not appropriate?
And that's the downside of using a Bible on your phone is you don't get the ability to mark the pages with a Twizzler pull and peel.
Son, what do you do with the pull and peel? Just marking my place.
Dad, it's just a bookmark for the Word of God. Son, I've never been prouder of you. Thank you. Is that cherry? That's the best kind. I'm proud of you. Okay, that's funny.
I think it flies.
I'm not necessarily against candy in church. However, when I was a kid, I had a box of Gobstoppers. And I feel like a lot of churches, at least older style churches, had kind of a pitch down to the front. Like you go in the auditorium and there's like a pitch down towards the pulpit. There's an altar up front, right? Typically. And if you're not familiar with it, Google it, okay? But I remember as a kid, I'm eating Gobstoppers out of a box. I drop the box and all of the Gobstoppers roll forward. I don't know how old I was, but my parents were not happy about that.
What did your dad do?
I don't even remember. I might just be blocking it out because I'm mentally scarred by this. And so...
Imagine as a parent, though, you hear them hit and like pop, 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 and then it's just rolling.
My friend Aaron has that feeling all the time because his son has that happen. Like, there was a rule, like, no drinks in the auditorium at one point because he's spilling stuff, he's dropping stuff. It's too much. And he's...
But at least at that time, for your sake, you were a little kid.
I was not.
This guy's grown
10 years old. He's, I don't know, 19, 20 years old or something like that. And I told you, he's good content. My pastor preached the message about the moon Sunday night.
Okay.
And I was like, this is a really well done sermon and a lot of things in the Bible about the moon that I'd never seen before. Not like weird conspiracy stuff, but just like cool stuff. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. And he made the comment, he's like, we're not going to have another solar eclipse until 2099. And so this kid's 19 years old, 20 years old. And he's like, he's sitting behind me, and he says, I'll be 61. And I looked at him, and I was just like, nope. And that's all I said. And I was just like, this is amazing content. This is amazing. And so, yeah.
So he's not good at math either.
I think it was just I think he just like miscalculated. I don't know. I'm not saying he's not good at math. I'm just saying that had me, like, I think about it now. Like, I've been thinking about it all day. Throughout the day, I'll just laugh to myself when I'm like,
dude, that's
I'll be 61 and 29. I'm like, nope, that's not true. So, yeah. So I'm not against all kinds of candies, as long as it's not loud. Like, I feel like the Jolly Rancher, like, when you're unwrapping that, that cellophane or whatever that is, that plastic, and it's just piercing everyone's ears at this point. It's like, what are we doing? But if you've got a Lifesaver mint that's got the plastic that tears really easily, you can pop that in. I'm not against that. I don't want anything in a box, and I don't want anything that's loud. That's just me personally. I don't know where you're at with that.
Yeah, that makes sense. So when we were in Florida, the church we were visiting has some older folks in there. A little bit more. There's still a good mix of people. But I forgot about the noise of the wrappers because it was just like, there's like mice all over. You could just hear them unwrapping. And I think if you're down in Florida, you realize you have a lot of retirees down there. It's probably just like a baby crying doesn't, bother people that are in that stage with kids, because you're like, oh, it's a baby.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you're a pastor at a church like that, you're just so used to like, Betty's got her Werthers over there, passing them down the line, Judy's unrolling. It was like all over and unfazed from the pulpit, just kind of like rolling with it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, whatever.
Yeah. Candy, I agree with you on candy. I think that's good.
Yeah. And I think gums, same line, whatever, who cares? That's
Gums?
fine. Gum,
okay.
Yeah, as long as you're not sticking on the
like
bottom of the
gummies.
seats, Gummies, I've eaten some gummies during church before. So I have diabetes, so I've gotten low blood sugar. My mom always has a container of gummy bears in her purse. I'm like,
Just like a bailout.
Mom, you gotta pass the gummies over here. I'll have some gummy bears to bring my blood sugar back up. But yeah, outside of that, I'm really like, I've seen people crack open like a granola bar or a Rice Krispie treat or Pop-Tarts in a church service, and I'm like, I don't know.
What are we doing?
That's not for me.
So, we have a mutual former friend. Just haven't seen him in years. Sean. You remember Sean?
Yeah.
And he was always wearing pants that always had like pockets. Just side
The
pockets.
side pockets at like knee height? Like
Yeah.
a cargo pocket?
They were like jeans with pockets, or he'd get like warm-ups with pockets. And I'll never forget this one time in church. He literally pulled out. Now this happened to him one time on the softball field and in church. Oatmeal cream pie.
Out of the pocket.
Out of the pocket.
During the service?
During the service. Just kind of like discovered it and just snacking away.
Decided to eat it.
Snacking
During
away.
the service.
During the service.
That's wild.
Yeah. I was like, hey.
Yeah.
Go for it.
I mean, I don't know. If I know you, I'll bust your chops about it. If I don't really know you that well, okay, whatever. This dude's having an oatmeal cream pie. He's at peace with the Lord about that. Like, who am I?
He's also drank the water bottle that said "Thirst for God."
Yeah. Like, there's some other stuff happening here. But yeah, I brought with me during Circle K they did their Sip and Save Club. It's now over. So my soda consumption has dramatically went down. I was drinking 44 ounces a day, and
Were you doing that along with your cantaloupe a day?
Yeah, same, just canceling each other out. Yeah, so I'm not drinking as much soda anymore, but I'd get to church on a Wednesday night and I'd have a 44-ounce soda. And there's a couple times I brought it into the service, and then I thought to myself, this is ridiculous. Like, I'm sitting here like it's a ball game with a 44-ounce cola, like flipping around in my Bible. It's like, this just doesn't feel right. So, yeah, I can't do that anymore. But, yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's interesting your perspective on different stuff like that. I think one that comes to my mind as well that would be like an appropriate, okay, so I'm in church, I'm trying to put myself, I'm sitting around people, what's going to be something that is not going to be a disruption? And I'm going to say tuna salad. Because it's kind of like the feeding the 5,000.
Yeah.
It was appropriate with Jesus, and here it is appropriate again.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
You might have a few stray cats roaming into the building.
We love cats here.
We
on
love
this
cats.
podcast.
We love them.
Podcats. We're big fans. It's funny to think about something ridiculous like that, but yeah, I don't know.
I mean, just cracking off the lid of Tupperware, and just the smell of
peeling the
tuna
lid
salad just permeating.
Yeah, like you're really struggling to get that lid off, like it's on there real tight.
Yep.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I don't know. I view it like appropriate things would be that kind of stuff, or candies I think are okay. As long as we're not, my big thing is I don't want it to be like a movie theater. I don't want a box, you're just slamming this box to get the few juji fruits out here to chomp on them. I've got a whole bag. Yeah, like I'm eating out of a whole bag of candy or something like that. But if you got a couple mints in your pocket or whatever, who cares? But I think that's my thing. It's just like, this isn't the movies. But
makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think if there's ever been a time where I was in church and I was questioning if I should eat that. Because I feel like growing up, my mom and dad were like, okay, if you have candy, we always had to unwrap it behind our back. So mom would always make us put it back here between the pew and unwrap it.
What did that do?
It would actually muffle the sound of the wrapper.
Okay.
Now again, imagine being the preacher and you see this row full of kids with their hands behind their back. You're probably like, what's going on?
Yeah, that's
Just
interesting. Yeah. I remember that they're like trying to open it quietly, like it would make it less noise or whatever. But
oh yeah.
Yeah. Those were fun times. So
I'm glad to hear you come around on coffee.
Oh yeah. I bring coffee in about every Sunday morning. Sunday school is a lot more casual anyways, so it's like, have your coffee, whatever.
Yeah.
So.
And then your one buddy, he's always just got snacks every week. So like, what's an average week for him? Is it like a Pop-Tart and a roll of like Rolos, or what does he have going on?
I don't really know what to expect, but we have like a side door on the church, and then like a couple of parking lots over, there's a dollar store. So when he comes in the side door with a bag from Dollar Tree, I know it's going to be a good Sunday, that the Lord is here with us today.
Yes.
So
it's a bag.
He's usually got a bottle of Arizona Mucho Mango Punch.
Really?
Yes. And then some kind of candy. Something, snack cake, candy. It's usually not like beef jerky or chips. It's usually like the Swedish fish, I feel like, is par for the course. Like, this is kind of what to expect. Like, I would expect some kind of gummy worm, Swedish fish. Sometimes he'll be like running across the street to McDonald's. Micaiah, shout out. I know you're listening. Thank you. Appreciate you and your family. But yeah, so I just know I enjoy seeing him come in the side door, bag from Dollar Tree in his hand. I'm like
a mystery.
This is a good day.
A mystery.
And I always check, what'd you get today? Oh, I got snack cakes, or I got this, or I got that, or whatever.
That's awesome. Okay, so you mentioned Micaiah as a listener. What was our, do we have comments or any updates on where we're at? I wanted to know how many people listened to what we were asking them to do and unsubscribed from the channel. I wanted to know if we had any changes with the analytics.
Yeah.
Because we can't forget the people.
We did actually lose a subscriber.
Did we?
But then he resubscribed.
Okay.
So I don't know if it was in the episode and he was like torn and he's like, I'm going to unsubscribe, I'm going to resubscribe. So, yeah.
He's probably just unsure of what to do.
He's back now, which is nice. And then, we did get some comments. So I have a friend, his name's Chad, and he started listening, and he's been listening to like every episode and really been enjoying it. So he sent me a message and he's like, he's like, keep doing what you're doing. It's awesome. You guys are so much fun to listen to and all this. So
nice.
Chad, thanks for listening, man. We appreciate
you, Chad.
it. But there was an episode where we talked about a water pick.
Yes.
A long time ago. I don't remember what episode it was. I think episode 5 or something. And he has in quotations, "You're not giving away our water pick, Estelle Costanza, Seinfeld." Because there's a Seinfeld episode where Frank Costanza is trying to give away the water pick to Lloyd Braun, this character, because he's selling the most computers. And so she's like, "You're not giving away our water pick. I'll give away our water pick if I want to give away our water pick." And it's just, so him and I always joke like that. So that was really funny. My friend
Is this
Chris,
Spotify or YouTube?
This is YouTube.
YouTube. Okay.
Instructions unclear. Just, he says, Instructions were unclear. I just clicked the YouTube option, do not recommend this channel to me, as I don't want to mess with organic growth that you guys are experiencing. I'm just doing my part. So, and then my friend Aaron said, maybe Kleenex would sponsor your podcast, because I was like blowing my nose a bunch one episode. And so, then Chris said, I unsubscribed, and then I resubscribed. So, thanks for.
So how many subscribers do we currently have?
We're still sitting at 11.
11? Okay.
Yeah.
So our goal by next week is probably get underneath 10.
No. We want to grow, Jeremy. We want to grow. I know you're confused because you haven't told anyone that you do a podcast.
Correct.
I do tell people about the podcast. So.
So your friend Chad, what drew him in as a listener?
I told him I was doing a podcast, and I just sent it to him because, unlike you, I actually want people to listen. Okay. So when we first started doing this, like our first episode, I sent that to friends of mine, and I said, I'm doing a podcast. And in that episode, we have 115 views on that episode.
So it's boosted.
On some of the episodes, we only have like 15 views or
there we go,
30 views.
Those are the real listeners that I'm looking for.
No,
the organic growth.
It's not. So, yeah, I've told people. So I told Chad, hey, I'm doing a podcast. And I don't think he was listening, but then I think I mentioned it again, like, oh, Monday night, yeah, I'm doing the podcast with my friend Jeremy, because this is now the rhythm of life.
This is it, baby.
Yeah.
My kids know. Podcast on Monday night.
My kids know, too. You do the podcast tonight?
Yep.
So.
Actually, shout out to because Chad used to work with, right?
Yeah, he used to work at FedEx.
This is going way back. You remember Minda Garbinski?
Okay, yeah, I thought it started with a G.
Yep. So I was messaging her a while back, just seeing how she's doing, and she's like, by the way, I love the podcast with you and Justin.
No way.
So she's apparently listened at some point.
How did she find out about it?
I'm guessing Facebook when you boosted it.
I'm not friends with her on Facebook.
Somehow or another, word got back around.
I think I am. Maybe I am.
Yeah, she's like, Justin's a great guy.
No.
Yeah. Kid you not.
Wow.
That was crazy. Yeah. So thank you if you are listening to us.
Yeah. Wow. That's
listening
cool,
on our
man.
life a little bit.
That's cool.
So.
See, yeah. I like doing this though, and it's like we've talked about before, it's good just for us to set aside this time of like, we're going to talk for an hour.
Just hang out.
And be fun about it too. Like, we really don't, because when we're not on the when we're not recording, we might talk about some deeper stuff or a lot more personal stuff or whatever. And I appreciate that in our friendship, obviously, but it's good too just to be like, let's just be idiots for an hour and a half here and just talk about whatever.
Yeah.
Let's talk about stuff during communion or whatever's going on. So
now we did forget one thing this week. So up to this point, but there is a really vital place. It's a good rhythm of both of our lives.
Yeah.
That is just helps keep us on the straight and narrow, so to speak.
And I'll be honest with you, I haven't been in 6 weeks. Yeah.
Due to inflation?
Yes. Mainly due to inflation. Because I can't use the promo code more than once.
Really?
Yeah. So I try to use our promo code there and they won't let me.
So I'm one of the sweet ladies at the desk, and
Stephanie what's the other one's name?
That's right. And you come in and I'm like, hey Justin, you get an appointment scheduled. And you're telling me what?
I'm like, I'd like to use the code witchcraft to get $10 off my visit. And they're like, oh, I'm sorry, you've already used that code 9 times. And that's actually the limit for that code. And I'm just like...
So as a result...
I'm just going to...
Our sponsor has graciously... They've given us a new code. So maybe you're out there and you're saying to yourself, I'm in the same boat as Justin. I cannot go back to Dr. Brian. He's got me squared away. I've used Witchcraft 9 times. You want to share with the listeners?
Yeah.
We got a new discount code.
Yep.
New. It's kind of like springing into spring.
Yep.
What can they use?
Yep. So you can go down. So it's a Just Chiropractic in Canton, and it's a true story. I haven't been back, and it's a double reason. Partial reason is I've used the code 9 times, and I can't go back. And then the other reason is I had a conflicting appointment on a Monday one time, and I needed to move my appointment, and I never called back to reschedule it. And so I'm out of rhythm, and I need to get back in the rhythm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and that could be you out there.
Maybe you're like,
out
hey,
of rhythm.
I haven't been to the chiropractor in 6 weeks. It's time to go back, and Just Chiropractic's the place for you in Canton. And the new code you're going to use, it's a 2-worder, so make sure you write this down, is Amish hands. There's a young intern lady there from the Pennsylvania Dutch community, and she's got a really strong set of hands, and she'll really get you cracking and get things shifted around. So you're going to go to the front desk and you're going to say, I've heard the podcast, Trail Whisperers podcast. I'd like to use the code Amish Hands for $10 off your first visit. And they'll get you taken care of there. Dr. Brian, I almost said Dr. Diane, but it's Dr. Brian and the staff. They'll get you all taken care of. They'll get you adjusted. So again, Just Chiropractics. My sister was telling me I need to go to the chiropractor. And I said, hey, this is only like 15 minutes from your house. My friend Chris one time said, I thought about going. Go, guys. Go to the chiropractor.
If they haven't used the code Witchcraft, they could still use that up to 9 times.
Yes.
Up to 9
After
times.
the 9th time, you're switching to the code Amish Hands.
Okay.
Or you can use them interchangeably, but the max per code is 9. So then we're going to have to get a new code here on episode 22.
Okay.
We'll need a new code.
Okay.
So I'll reach out to them and get that.
Yeah. And they're happy to accommodate so, times could be tough.
Obesity. Maybe you're very large, you're portly. And you might just be worried, can the tables there hold me? Maybe you've been at a restaurant before and you've broken a chair or something like that. And you're like, I want to start prioritizing my health, but I really don't want to move more than I have to. What can I do? Just Chiropractic's a good spot to go.
Oh, yeah.
So
they're happy to wheel you into the office.
they'll rustle you around in there to get things adjusted for you.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Amish Hands. Thank you for that code.
Amish Hands.
Viewers.
Yep. $10 off your first visit.
Sounds great.
Yep.
Thank you for being a sponsor, Dr. Brian.
We appreciate that, Dr. Diane. Anything else you want to add to this episode, Jerry? All right, guys. This has been episode 13. Thanks for hanging in there with us. So, we'll catch you next
Monday.
Week. Give us a like and a subscribe.
Like and an unsubscribe. I think you misspoke there. Like it, and then unsubscribe from us.
Don't do that, guys. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.
See ya.